here for another Women in the Metaverse. I'm super excited about today because, as you guys know, this season we've been taking you into the Metaverse, exploring different Metaverse spaces by different women. So far you've seen how I've set up a few of my physical digital shops and educational spaces. You've seen a few of Tiny's, and if you watched last week, you actually seen Yolantis pop in and join the conversation talking about how she got started. And today we're actually going to go and take a walk around one of her galleries. So if you're in Spatial, you see what this says, which is click on this portal and meet us there. Otherwise, you guys come on along. I know Tiny is going to meet us there, and I'm super excited to get this party started. So with that, you see it's very easy to go from one space to another in Spatial, which is one of the reasons why I love using different Metaverse platforms such as Spatial, where it's very easy to have your own space, but then also go and join others as well. So I see Yolantis is already here. Hello.
Oh, somebody's here. Oh, yay. There she is.
Hello there.
Uh-oh. Now she can't hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. I love it. It's a whole vibe in here.
Heck yeah.
You guys see it. It is a vibe. I love it. You got music, snacks, curtains. I love it. Well, thank you for inviting us into your space. I'm so excited to learn more about your work and everything you have going on here.
They have to be able to hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you okay. If you can hear me, if maybe you turn down the YouTube, that might also make you hear me a little clearer, but I can hear you okay.
Oh, okay, cool. I turned off the YouTube.
Perfect.
I'm like live streaming it over there in the auditorium.
I love that. And we are live streaming now on YouTube and Twitter, so you guys, you can see this is a whole auditorium that she has that playing in. I love that. Definitely a vibe. I love how you have the curtains here to come into the auditorium. Lovely touch. And everyone, as you guys know, I just introduced the stream over in the treehouse before we popped on over. So everyone who's just joining us, like I said, if you missed last week, you can actually watch that to hear a little bit more about Yolantis and how she got into the space. But today we're actually going to be able to hear more about the gallery itself and the work here. So I was just saying how excited I am to dive into that part, because of course we've crossed paths a few times, but I'm really excited to actually take a look at your work and what you've done in this space.
Oh, I'm so thrilled. Thank you. Well, what you're looking at now is live streams. Sometimes I use this as a meeting space for when somebody wants to talk about a project, or if I want to screen share a project, I can just set up my auditorium theater thing as a screen share, and that makes it easier for business meetings to like show people what I am designing for them. Hi.
Welcome, Science.
And then if we want to do a quick tour, then I've got Hear Me Roar in the gallery to one side, and in the gallery to the other side, I've got the dance still start of dance. These were from January and March. I think I did the dance stills first in January. It took me a month to do these. So let's go over here. I wanted to know, I was answering the question, what does AI know about the human body in motion? What does it know about dance? And so I made a lot of prompts, um, and I wanted to pay homage to my favorite dance styles. So I've got um, over here, this is Merce Cunningham, like a homage to Merce Cunningham. And then we've got some homage to river dance with the, that was supposed to be like a, like an extra drop. I've got 2 river dance style ones because I thought they were very entertaining. I've got one ballet and one like traditional folk dance. I have got a lot of modern art imagination pieces here, contemporary dance, because I grew up as a ballerina. I grew up doing ballet for about 10 to 15 years, and then I switched over to modern dance, and I loved it much better than ballet. And then at the very end is a very extra. That's me now. My son took this photo of me a couple of years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. I'm wearing a digital dress. So I had this meta look made for me after I got the NFT of the I forgot what the name of it is. It's probably in the info. When you click on the plus sign on these NFTs, it gives you more info. And it gives you a link. If it's for sale, it'll link you out to the platform it's for sale, and so on. And so these couches that I have put in the center are my pattern work. It's only 2 pieces represented, but I've taken a deep dive into learning how to do a professional repeat. So I've got an 8-bit pattern, and then I've got this newer one, Black-Eyed Susans. I drew it in Adobe Illustrator and put it into a pattern repeat. Okay, so let's buzz on over to, if you click shift, you can run. And to the next.
It's a race. Let's see who will make it. Oh, science is trying to catch up.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're in the threshold. I put some new things this morning. So I like to do calls to art. And I am looking at a tiger and an ocean scape. And those are the works that I put up for an opera browser call to art, and they're supposed to be phone screensavers. And this other one on the other side of the threshold is a call to art for a beer label. And this is actually, I printed it and it's hanging in a gallery where I am a member. And so that was really fun. Then we've got a whole bunch of women and dragons. The idea behind the women and dragons, this is all AI art that I painted in Photoshop. The idea is that that's their spirit animal. And this is rooted in the Me Too movement. And I wanted to portray women holding their strength and like owning their power. Mocasso, you're looking at the one that I really like because of the smile on the tiger's paw. And I called it, No, I Won't Smile for You, something like that. It's got a really long title. The idea behind it is, in the man's gaze, he'll say, "Oh, honey, you look so pretty when you smile. You should smile more often." And that phrase was brought up in the Me Too movement a lot. So her tiger spirit animal is absorbing that for her, and she doesn't have to smile just because somebody else tells her to. The tiger catches the request for a smile and kind of bounces it back. That's the idea.
I love that.
And that's what all these others are. They have these imaginative titles talking about Strength of Spirit. The final two were outtakes. I'm just using those as placeholders. I didn't mint these, so I have scores and scores of images that I did not end up minting. I just liked these a lot. I have more artwork out on the landing, and if you want to, and of course, anybody who's listening, this is a free Metaverse space. I didn't design build. The build is available for anybody with a spatial account. You can choose color themes. I would have, if I knew on the day that I picked this that there were different color themes, I would have chosen the one without the pink color cast, but I didn't know, and now I cannot change it. So
really, I think you can change it still. You can't change the colors anymore? Let me see.
I asked them, I put a trouble support ticket in, and I said, hey, can I just replace the build with a new color? And they're like, no, you'd have to rebuild it.
Oh, that sucks. I know some galleries you could just change the colors for. That's sad. This isn't one, but this one's still really nice, and I love your art. That's what really does it here. So that's what counts.
Hi, Tiny. So out on the breezeway here, I have put some calls to art, and these are things that are just a little random. I just like to respond to calls to art. This one was to highlight these bullish earrings. I made a 3D render in DAZ 3D. I made a character, and she's got a whole storyline, and she's running away from, I forget the storyline now. It's been a couple of months. But I used the 3D file because I'm in the Fabricant, and the Fabricant has these accessories for sale. They gave us the 3D files and said, go ahead and do a design challenge, reimagine them.
And that's really cool because I'm familiar with the Fabricant too, and I remember the challenge, and so it's really cool to see your submission in here for that challenge.
That's cool. These are some more submissions. The girl with the opossum was a call to art for dreams, and the other two were I was just having fun. I really like portraying Latin American women. I like multiculturalism. I like diversity and inclusion and stuff like that. So I want the Latinos to be represented here in the Metaverse and in NFTs. I don't see enough of it. Let's see.
And I love how you do a whole collection of each concept, so you really get a feel for the feel for it, it's not just a picture, it's really a collection. It brings
a few
it all
of these
together.
are collections, and there's a collection that I did not include in this gallery. It would have been too time consuming for me to include them because I made 28 images, and Spatial does not represent Tezos at the moment. I happen to mint all 28 on Tezos for the low minting fees, and Spatial, the ones that I mentioned, the Hear Me Roar collection is all Tezos, and I had to hand upload everyone and then hand link back to the detail page on objects. So it was a very, very labor intensive to make this gallery here. It took me 3 weeks.
Wow.
And then you all have found some other gems. I am standing next to a render of an element from my first NFT in 2021. It was a call to art for the Ethereum Denver gallery, and it was a culture jamming call to art, which I am really, really fond of doing culture jamming pieces. It was just a response to what it feels like to work from home, and these are playground balls that look like the ball from Castaway that have a handprint painted on them. Those are really my handprints in paint that I scanned in and I put on a custom scan of a playground ball texture, and it's supposed to be harkening back to that the relationship between the guy and his little ball Wilson. So in spatial, you can make some portals, and I've made portals to different things in this little nightclub area. So my son is also into AI art. He's made a gift shop, and then inspired by him, I've made a gift shop, and I'm still building. It's only a couple of things in there now. And then when I made a website, I put a link to it there. If somebody happens to join Spatial in VR, they can't tell what their avatar looks like. So I added a mirror for the VR people to see their own avatar. Let me dance. Yes.
We look good. I love it. Wow. This is really cool. And so, do you tend to update your spaces frequently with different art whenever you kind of do different collections, or do you more so just add different pieces as you see different things and kind of add different submissions and just add to the gallery?
For now, since it was labor intensive for me to get those 2 gallery collections displayed and linked up correctly, I'm going to keep them there as a permanent installation. And then when I do different artworks, I put them in the center. So my area in the center, I've got a couple that I've just recently done. So I had a drop at Makerspace, which was a sold-out group drop. There were 51 artists. And so I'm standing in front of the place, right in front of the marker right now. Image of it. It was a call to art for vandals. VNDL, like enter the vandals. So 51 artists' interpretation of 0009's famous vandals. And I put a feminine spin on mine, and they are about to skate down a citywide skate park and paint. It's just a little fun interpretation of a vandal. And then this one, on the other side of this threshold, the Tide Chick, the fabricant curated me in, and this one was displayed for a second at a party at Nulcha shows. It was supposed to be at NFT Paris, I think, last year, but in a reel. You know, we have these opportunities because there's so many NFT workshops and conventions and stuff. And so this one ended up being shown at Nulcha shows real quick in a reel. With other fashion, like other people who had submitted AI fashion. What else did I put in here? I think that's it. I gave you a real quick tour to be, to honor your time. I know some of your women in the Metaverse series are very quick. Y'all can help yourself to sandwiches and cake.
Oh, I've been eyeballing it. I see those sandwiches over there, and I'm excited. And no, this has been great timing and a really great experience, because as you guys have seen, this is what this has all been about, which is how we can use these different metaverse spaces. And what I love is how you took this gallery, like you said, that is free for anybody to use if you just create a spatial account, and was able to put all of the different AI art that you've been creating for these different things into one space to really showcase all of the different things that you've been doing and be able to kind of share all of those different experiences that you've had. So this has been really cool. I'm really excited to see all of the different things that I can see, continue to see add to that collection. And so with that, I would love to end this by asking, what do you have next in store? Is there anything that you're working on next, or anything like that?
Absolutely. Oh, where's my wave? There it is. Thank you for spending the time with me today to walk around and take a look at what I've been doing in 2023. Well, coming up, I am in an innovation laboratory sponsored by the Hug and Transient Labs. So if you saw the couch in the earlier part of the tour, I've got a couch over there, Dance Stills Art of Dance. That's part of the dynamic NFT that I'm going to be dropping. I think it's sometime in October that our deadline is. So I am still building it. I am going to do some deep work. The pattern that I've made to put on a couch is going to be on a digital room, and my 3D room will have 2 or 3 different renders that will come up during different parts of the day to kind of help. What it's going to do is walk people through. Oh, it's really hard to describe. It's some deep work that I'm doing, deep emotional work, because I feel like the fine artists who are in the AI world, they have a narrative, and they have they're not just making just a pretty picture just because they can. They're really putting their soul into their artwork, and so I wanted to give that a try. So I'm working on it, and I'll release it at the end of the month.
And I totally get that. Because when you say that, what most people, when they see AI art, they just see a picture, but there's a lot of prompting that goes into that. And like you say, there's usually a whole story behind that prompt that really gets everything that you're trying to get into that. And I definitely can see where you can go by creating a whole room and experience with your patterns and encompassing people in these stories that you've already created so far in your different collections and works. So I know I seen Tiny excited. I hope all of our viewers are watching, and I will be dropping this link. It is already on Twitter, but I'll drop it on YouTube as well, and it is in the Discord where everybody is welcome to share their metaverse spaces. But make sure you go and actually check out this space. When you do, press this like here in the corner so you can get alerted whenever Yolantis goes live here in her space, if she's ever doing anything, so you don't miss a beat. Otherwise, where can we follow you on Twitter so we can also keep up with everything that you've got going on, Yolantis?
The Twitter, the company formerly known as Twitter,
oh yes,
is /YOLANTISETH. That's Yolantis ETH on Twitter.
Awesome. Alrighty, and everybody in the space, make sure you guys have definitely liked it, followed, and everybody watching, stay tuned, because we'll be back next Monday talking more about women in the metaverse and what we'll be doing this month coming up, and also about our fashion show as well. We haven't talked much about that, but I'm very excited, and we are going to start to explore some more of the ways that we can use these metaverse spaces to create fashion, showcase fashion, and so much more. So definitely stay tuned, because we've got a lot more in store. Peace.
I have got to hear about that. Yeah.